Facial expressions. Use your hands. Okay.
You don't need to tell me
I was
twice.
like, T, just
The
use
Armenian
your
in
hands.
me. And the healer.
She's like walking around just, what is she doing?
No,
Witchcraft.
literally, I have been stopped at restaurants, like especially like Italian ones, because you know Italians use their hands.
Yes.
And they're like, "Are you Italian?" I'm like, "No, why?" They're like, "Because you use your hands a lot when you're talking." But in my culture, in Armenian, we do that a lot.
Using your hands a lot when you explain things. So
yeah,
what?
It's kind of like a.
So the best way that I can explain it is that you're animated when you're discussing things. That's
yeah. I wear my facial expressions. I'll be in the grocery store.
Oh, so
do you need help? I'm like, does it say that I do? They're like, you look like you're in question.
You're lost. You look lost. Like, no, that's just how I normally look. So it's almost like
I am not lost. I am disconnecting from reality.
It's like I'm just trying.
No, I literally go into my own bubble. Like, especially if I go grocery shopping, it's chaotic. So I just.
Well, I just did a TikTok the other day about going into Costco.
Oh, I saw that. You said, I don't know if it's a guy thing, in and out. Yeah. It's not a guy thing. I'm in and out. Okay, like, so I do not stop unless the boys are with me.
No, I will say it's a personality trait then, just to be more PC about it. But it is a personality trait. I had a couple of people comment, you're doing it wrong. You missed out on the samples. And I said, I responded with something very, kind of like, that wasn't my focus. My focus was to purchase the things I needed and be in and out because my time is money. Yeah. And there was no response after that. I was just like, well, it's just my personal opinion. Like, I don't.
Some people take hours in there. Like
they do.
Will
I can
graze the aisles. I'm like, get in, get out. Especially if it's a weekend. No way.
Okay, so no, I can definitely do the whole. Let's go try all the samples. No. Let's go do this, that, and the other. But I think that's the thing. If I have time to do
why people go to Costco to try out samples?
Yeah, it is. I mean, and I switch back and forth. There's days where I'm like,
is it a senior thing?
No, it's not. Don't ever say that. It's not a senior thing. There's children that I bring my kids.
Kids like it. Kids
we make
do
jokes.
Like it.
We make jokes for the people that are, a little bit above poverty level, but not quite middle class. So what we do to take advantage of our Costco membership is to go on specific days, especially with ones that have samples. Why? Because you bring your children.
And you feed them lunch there?
Feed them lunch there, yes. And then if they're still
Even
hungry...
Even though their pizza is like $1, right?
That's what I'm saying. So if they're still hungry after checkout, you go to the food court.
And ice cream, and what else
for less than $8, you can feed a family. And that literally is...
That's true.
It's what people do. And don't get me wrong, it's, someone had made a comment, they're manipulating the system. Like, no, they're just making use of the system. Like, look at it in a positive aspect. Exactly.
You're not going to go pay $8 for a slice. You're gonna pay $1.
Yeah, you're gonna pay $9.99 for a whole pizza, which is fucking amazing.
I know. Remember those days of $9.99 pizzas?
Well, I mean, there's Little Caesars, hot and ready. They still do it.
I mean, like actual pizza.
Like actual pizza?
Yeah, like.
I think normal pizza is actually what? Who is that? Oh.
I swear it was closed.
There. It doesn't click. For those of you that can't see me off camera, I'm trying to mess with the door here. I'm trying to lock this woman in.
And I have the giggles in here.
We can have a conversation, but apparently God is telling me otherwise.
Get out.
The door is open. You must leave.
Get out.
Yeah, whatever. No, I thought you meant someone was walking by or like waving or something. So
literally, someone walked, and as they opened the door, the door opened. I was like,
oh. Well, we are at the Adler development over here in Henderson, Nevada. I always want to say Henderson, Las Vegas. It is not Henderson, Las Vegas. It is. I'm originally from Chicago, so it's like
I can see that.
So it's just one of those things where when they're like, "Oh, Henderson, Las Vegas," I'm like, "No, it's Henderson, Nevada."
Yeah, people don't get it when you say Henderson. They're like, "You mean Las Vegas?" I'm like, "No, it's Henderson."
Yeah, the way everything's built out here is a little bit confusing because. Like everyone's city address is Las Vegas, even though you could be in the town of Enterprise, Spring Valley.
Yep.
But Henderson is the only one that actually has Henderson as part of the city. So I'm still trying to get used to how it all works here. But it's a beautiful place. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely.
We are in
a little spot.
business suite is what they would call it.
The pods.
I am still amazed at how a lot of the developments out here are so catered to people that work from home or do business meetings and things
very
like
creative.
that. Oh yeah, completely creative.
Even the setup, the way they have it. We should do one where we kind of take them around and show them.
Yeah, it's like do a walkthrough, like the real estate agents
but
do.
You can't come live here. Don't come here.
No. Just don't live here. It's a beautiful. It's for those of you that are looking into doing developments. This is something you should model after. Now it's really. I mean, how new is this place?
I think it opened in July.
Okay, so
it hasn't even been a year.
Okay, so it's very, very new.
Yep.
And I can still see there's a lot of dirt and stuff in the area.
Yeah, they're building towards the back, so all the front is done.
Okay.
And then everything past the pool is being developed.
Okay. I'm very the idea of amenities for like living spaces nowadays, and this goes nationwide. I mean, it could be internationally, but nationwide, it seems to be amenities are very specific to like people that work from home and people that have kids actually. So if you do have kids and you're in the Nevada, Las Vegas area, Henderson, there's a lot of options for.
They have a lot families. Out here. They have like the water park. They have all the different parks. Water parks
out here. So
they have all the walking trails. They have Lake Las Vegas.
Because how far are we from the Strip?
Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because you can go the back way, the 515.
So that's what I noticed. So I'm coming from South Vegas. Yeah. So it takes me an extra 15 to 20 minutes because I'm coming.
You do the loop.
South. I do. Yeah, I go around, which is annoying. Because I was like, there's got to be a faster way to get here.
Yeah, no, the 515, you can go, I think, the other way.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I'm getting used to like all the highways.
So you kind of like,
it goes around.
Like a horseshoe.
Belt. They call it a belt, allegedly. Yeah. And then apparently over by where everything splits off in Las Vegas to like the Strip, it's called the Spaghetti Bowl.
That's yep.
Yeah. So I was like, why is Spaghetti Bowl though? Why does it have to be Italian?
Maybe
there's a lot of Asians out here.
I mean,
it could have been like a chow mein bowl, you know, the lo mein bowl. I mean, I don't know. And that has nothing to do. Circle. I'm not even really Asian, so like that doesn't count. I'm not trying to be favorite. I'm not putting favoritism towards that comment.
No, really, I don't know why it's called Spaghetti Bowl.
We should ask somebody. Like I do have a friend. I do have a friend that works for the governor. I should ask him.
Why is it
he might know, but I highly doubt it.
Doesn't probably. LA have the Spaghetti Bowl? They have. Too? I think where all the freeways.
Yes, where all the freeways go. In Chicago, we have what it's called the Loop.
The Loop. Yeah.
But it's a little more. It's literally like a loop. I just almost
the underground tunnel there is. Yeah. It's a cluster in Chicago. Like it's kind of like Erie. Like when you go
when you go underneath,
and then you come right back up.
So you're talking about lower Wacker.
Yes.
Where all the homeless people live?
The Wacker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is like you go into the dungeon and then you can come back up and get some air and then go back to the dungeon.
Yeah. It's well, I mean that's the way they build their cities. Sometimes it's interesting how things have been kind of like hodgepodge together. That's what happens.
But it has a lot of history.
It does. So it does.
I think that's the one thing that, I mean, Vegas has history, but it's really the Strip. It's not like anything around it. Doesn't. If you take the Strip out, there's really nothing here.
So the downtown area. Well, we have the Red Rocks are out here, which is a beautiful like national park.
But I don't think anyone would just come just for Red Rock if there was no Strip.
No, you're right. You're right. So the way I looked at Las Vegas, and this kind of ties in with everything. I mentioned this before. Like we talk about, the school system out here and how it's not as dynamic as other states. It's it's in the lower percentile.
Like 47 or 48 out of 50.
I'll say 49. I think as of 2024, allegedly.
Like Chicago is really good.
It is really good, yeah. And the number one, I have to put this in there. The number one allegedly that I checked up online is guess what state? Guess what state has allegedly the number one, or is in the top 3 for education, like public education with
Colorado?
Their standards? Nope. Jersey.
What?
Yes. I saw Connecticut in there, it made sense because it's Connecticut. But when I saw Jersey up there, I was really boggled, and I'm like,
Jersey.
Like Jersey Shore. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe we've just been bamboozled. Maybe everyone on the Jersey Shore is really smart, and we just don't realize. They just talk different and act different, but they're really like SAT scores are like insane.
Wow, I would never, ever, ever I would lose that bet.
I walked out of the room when I saw that because it didn't make sense to me. Like my mind exploded. But I didn't want to dive into that anymore. But so Las Vegas is a tourist town. It's a tourist city.
And we were talking about this.
Yes, we were talking about this because I kind of had to come up with what I call AI. I had to use what's it called? Oh my God, analytic intelligence. So AI to me is not artificial; it's analytic intelligence, and I'm praying to God that everyone in the world starts to have that. We'll call it common sense, but it's just 1 + 1 = 2. So the idea was I thought about it more because I was like, why is it so low? And I'm on a radio show, so talking to the mayor and asking about the educational system, and she was even saying, it's a long road to follow, and I get it. It's a collective. It's a huge collective. Just education in general. But it made sense because this is a tourist town. It was never meant to be a place for people to have families, but now
settle and have roots and
So it's
make it home.
Yes. So it's crazy to see now that people are moving out here, migrating
from everywhere,
because of the weather for sure. But it definitely.
It used to be cost of living until everybody moved out here, and then
I know.
Now we are.
I think it's gonna go down because I think how like people get really excited. So you own a business, right? You start your business, and friends and your family, everyone just starts buying stuff. So you feel like your sales are really really high. So you just keep trudging forward, right? Then eventually it goes down. It bottoms out, and then you have to kind of equalize it by saying, okay, now I can't charge $50 for it. I'm gonna bring it back down to 25 where we started. Right. So many developments out here. A lot of families are moving out here, especially from California. Right now.
Probably now more so than ever with all the fires.
I'm not laughing, but it's like insane. I think that's what it is.
That's where they're gonna come.
Yeah, they're gonna come.
Vegas.
They're already coming here. They were already coming here because of the cost of living. Is much cheaper.
Or they were actually traveling, like it was.
Oh yeah, they would work in California and live out here, which I found a lot of
they would commute.
A lot of people do. Yeah, it's insane. It's possible to do though. But I guess it makes sense to do that. But regardless, I think it's one of those things where it's going to take time for Las Vegas to catch up with the societal standards because it was meant to be a tourist town.
I think even the amount that they've been building, and there is so much construction, it's ridiculous. They're not going to catch up. Like there's too many people.
Coming in before. Well, I mean, I guess
that's why half the stuff is like, excuse my French, like half-assed. Like you just like, did they forget that piece on the bottom?
No, I know. They're trying to make it happen right now. But we are living in a society of instant gratification. So kind of is what it is.
And Vegas. Oh yeah, instant gratification. Are you kidding me? All the shops.
No, that's true. That's true. I think
like literally people come out here just to go to the shops and buy stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's the sales tax is cheaper.
It
like
is.
They go out with bags and bags.
It is. I think let's just say for a lot of the people that come and visit here to go shopping, the things that they have here they don't have back at home.
That's true.
So that's one of the reasons. Sales tax here is not terrible, but it's not the best. We're not talking about like Minnesota, where it's like, what is it? No, there's no sales tax. I think in Philadelphia, like on certain items, like goods, like food and like clothing.
There's supposed I don't think they're supposed to be actually. I think they've changed it. Where food wasn't supposed to be taxed?
Yes, yeah, I think that happened a handful of years ago. I don't see. I'm terrible at this because I just pay. I'm just like, oh, it costs that much. I'm like, ugh.
No, I look at the receipt and I'm like, what? $150? What did I buy? I bought like 10 things in the cart, and you just don't even really like.
No, you don't. I think being self-conscious about like what I'm buying has slowly started to become a thing because I'm like, okay, just like when I went to Costco, I knew exactly what I needed. I knew I was going to spend under $100 because I went on my Costco app and was like, oh, this is on sale. Yeah. So I was being proactive as a shopper. I'm not rich, so I didn't walk in. I was like, swipe, whatever. One day.
You're not rich yet.
Yet. I'm working towards not even being rich, being content.
Yes.
I think, I guess I don't like using the word rich, but like, I think us as individuals, we try to grow to be content. to be content.
You want to
meaning
be
happy.
sitting on a nice soft cushion
Yes,
where you're
yes.
comfortable, and if you want to splurge, you don't need to think twice. You just do it.
But the other half of that too is what level are you content at? What, like your cushion? Some people, their cushion could be 30 grand a year, which is insane to me, because for
I
me
don't
it's
think
like
you can live with 30 grand a
you
year.
can.
I mean, you can, but it's like
You just
the
have to
bare
be.
minimum.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's put this in perspective, okay?
I'm talking about with everything: rent, car, insurance,
No, for
food,
sure.
travel. I
Everything.
mean,
Okay.
just
This is.
eating out.
No, I know.
You
I
can't
think.
even.
Okay, so this is. I'm not even debating with you about it. I'm just saying that I've seen the other half where like $35,000 a year
Mhm.
with a family of 3, okay, maybe 4. You're talking Walmart shopping, you're talking
Mhm.
Aldi shopping, you're talking to either cook at home, and when they do eat out, it's when they go to like TGI Fridays on like happy hour, and you can get a bunch of stuff for
Yes.
$25 for a family of 4.
Yes.
So, and they're
All you can
completely.
eat.
And I think the first time I had seen something in that realm of like being content and happy, was probably when I was in my mid 20s, and I was like, wow. Now I had to give this family a complete props because of the fact that they were budgeting. Like they were
Yep.
very conscientious about what they were spending. We
Yep.
only have this much, and this is what we're gonna do, and
Yep.
this will make us happy. Now for me, it's a different story. $50 per meal for me is like, okay, it's gonna be a really good meal. And
Mhm.
let's just say I can afford to do that every weekend. Okay.
Mhm.
They will take that $50 budget and stretch it for the entire month. But this is my whole point. They will be completely happy with it. When I'm like, oh my God, I can only spend $20 this week. Like, I'm gonna eat garbage. This is gonna be like a McDonald's every day. Like
Not even, because McDonald's, like burger,
I
fries,
know.
or it's
Well,
like, what is that, like
now,
$12?
yeah, nowadays. So being in the West
You
Coast,
gotta go get the dollar menu.
that
Where
doesn't
it's
exist
like,
anymore. There is no dollar menu.
they don't have
They have
stuff.
a
You could
value
tell.
menu.
Well, okay, you could tell how often I eat out.
Well, that's good. It's
Like
I think In-N-Out Burger out here. I'm
I
being
do
biased.
have In-N-Out.
I'm being
That
biased
is so
because I love
good.
In-N-Out. But for a little over $10, you can get a whole meal.
Yeah,
A whole meal,
which is,
and it's a lot less disgusting
and it's
to me.
actually made
It's real food.
fresh.
Yeah, it's not
Like it actually tastes like
processed.
potatoes, French fries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it
Somebody was
tastes like real
actually
food.
saying that there's a whole different menu with In-N-Out that people don't know about.
Yeah,
and it has like crispy fries, like
So I order
chicken something. I was like, wait, they have chicken on
Okay,
their
so
menu?
the chicken part I've never heard of, but
Yeah.
the fries I order, I do them not extra crispy, well done.
Well done. So
So
I mean, it's always fresh,
I always
but
have
you
them
get
well.
like
Yeah.
fresh.
Well, every time we go through the drive-through, you see them pushing the stuff through. I'm like, yeah, fresh fries.
Fresh lettuce, fresh tomato.
But as a home cook, fresh fries aren't always the best because you have to eat them right away.
Yeah, they get soggy.
They get soggy and they're very starchy because they don't do what other restaurants is, basically a double fry, or they don't let them sit and dry out first and then fry them. There's a whole process to making fries, but
I just put it in the oven. I actually bake mine.
You can bake them, air fry them. You can air fry them, but if you get them well,
yeah,
they're like potato chips. Like you can
air
let them.
Fryer is. I have like mixed feelings about it because yes, it's very convenient.
Yeah,
and it does a lot of stuff, but I've also, in my world, the quantum world, I know the vibration and energy, and it's like literally almost worse than a microwave. So like, it literally zaps all the nutritional value out of your food.
Yeah.
And so you're eating air.
Well, ideally, in a very scientific way, yes, because like it dries plastic. It dries it out. That's literally what it does.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's like standing in the desert, right? You're a cheeseburger and you're standing in the desert. So no, I completely get that.
So that's why I'm like, it's so good, it's so convenient, but then
I know. I mean, I don't know, but I get it. I understand.
I'm more, I guess, conscious and anal when it comes to things like that. Like I barely ever use the microwave.
Yeah. I always think about that too, because like whenever I stand and wait in front of the microwave, I'm like, oh man, just little bits of cancer it's just hitting me. And I had in my old home, we had one of those drawer like pull-out ones, so it's it's below counter level. So if you can imagine as a male standing in front of it, I was like, oh, this could be a cause for testicular cancer. And I would think about it as I was standing in front of it, just
so
while
you're
I'm
like
waiting.
asking for that energy to just keep coming in
Yeah.
that space.
And then I keep telling myself that maybe I'll be one of those superhumans that has some sort of mutation that'll just toss it out, you know?
But I mean, if you're talking about cancer and all that, like all the technology.
Oh yeah, completely. I
we
mean,
sleep next to it. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
it emitting everywhere.
like
But
the,
there's things you could do to get
yeah.
where they block out the EMF.
Oh, for sure. I think, I mean, just like everything, it is a moderation, you know?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're getting probably fried with
completely.
between laptops and phones.
So I think of people on
And
podcasts
gadgets.
and how long they're gonna live, because that's all they do all day, or like YouTubers and things like that. So, but you know
Getting
what?
zapped.
Oh, you're gonna love this, but we're just human. So it's one of those things where
Touche.
I mean, you think about it too, and you're like, oh man, I'm in front of a computer all day. So these are not prescription glasses because my eyes are amazing, but these are blue light glasses because I'm always staring at a screen, whether it be
That's cool because I can't
laptops.
really see the blue.
I can tell the blues in there, and it's almost like
I can't see it.
I have this weird. Okay, side note, I have this weird thing about wearing these all the time.
Yeah.
Because I know people that can't see. Like my parents are, you know, they both have glasses or have done LASIK and stuff like that. My other brother has glasses, so I almost feel. This is the weirdest, like, just comparison to make, but it's almost like I'm riding around in a wheelchair, but I can walk. Does that make sense? Like, I feel guilty.
That was the best analogy.
Like, I'm wearing glasses here, all right, for all
but
you guys
you
out there.
can see.
And I'm complete. I don't.
I literally thought it was your glasses.
So you know what though, and also too, it's the look. It's like I feel
Smart.
I have intellect.
Yeah.
You know, when I take these off, I feel dumber.
Intelligence.
So, yes, it is.
I should bust out mine, but I actually need mine.
See,
mine are prescription.
Like I feel I'm
like, especially at night now, more so. I need to have it.
Really?
But or if I'm like staring at the computer, after a while, just everything starts getting blurry. Like you're just like, oh, I need something to focus my eyes.
So this is the reason why I have these, because my eyes get strained from staring at the computer. Like I get up a lot. You know, to be honest, I thought I was gonna end up being one of those individuals that like just gained 70 pounds and I'm just sitting in front of my laptop doing that, but I try to stay active. But it really is a strain on your eyes, you know. That I'm worried about carpal tunnel. I'm just typing, so I have to like type correctly. The ergonomic way of doing it. So yeah, no, I think that's just a part of life. You know?
But I can't see. Well, now I
now you can. Now you can.
Now I'm like, I could see it, but yeah, mine you can actually see almost like the blue.
Oh, on it. So yeah,
but maybe because it's prescription, so the lens is different.
Yes, so that actually makes way more sense, because I've known a couple people that have transitions and also with the blue light on there.
Transitions make me feel like I'm like,
whoa,
oh,
it's dark and then it's light, and then it's dark.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
I
light.
can't do that.
Do you have like, so you have to like swap them out?
Yeah.
Do you have prescription sunglasses?
I don't want them because I don't need it like on the daily. Like I can see, I can read, I can do. It's just to kind of.
So you're nearsighted.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Because I think
you can see close, but you can't see far. No?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're nearsighted.
Farsighted. No, yeah, nearsighted is the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nearsighted, farsighted.
And it's just easier. Like if I'm reading a book or if I'm reading something, to put it on, it almost makes the letters a little bit bigger. Just so I can
it expands
focus.
It. Yeah.
So it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't read. But
you're not at the point
at night, it's kind of gotten a little bit worse. Like it's a little bit blurrier.
Blurry. I think now. I mean,
I'm giving my age away.
I do need to get my eyes checked, because like now when I drive, I'm looking at street signs. I'm like, oh.
Okay, I think that's one.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Just turn the wheel and go.
It's terrible. It's terrifying.
No, the guy at CVS the other day, I was picking up, I don't know what I was getting. Oh, I think Dayquil.
Okay.
And it needs your ID. And I was like, do you need my ID? Because the other lady got it before, and he was like, no, you're good. I'm sure you're over 18. And I was like, you think?
Did you feel good or bad about it?
No, and then he goes on to say, I said, no, I'm actually 43. And he goes, his face, he was like, you're what? I was like, I'm 43. He's like, wow. I would maybe say like 28 to 32 max. Like that is the range.
Did that make your day?
You know what made my day was a few months back. This is horrible to even say, but I went to go do some volunteer work for Junior Achievements at
Okay.
UNLV. And it was like all the different high schools.
Okay.
And of course, I have my backpack on. I'm inside. I'm like
Yeah.
guiding the kids, doing everything. And then you just see this one kid. He goes, "Excuse me, miss." And I was like, "Yes." And then he's like, I said, "You called me miss?" He's like, "Are you one of us, or are you are you like an adult?"
Yeah.
I was like,
the question, are you one of us?
"Are
or
you
are you an
even?"
adult? That is.
It
How
was
old was he? High school, right?
He was 17 or 18.
Okay.
And then I was like, "No." I said, "I am 43." And he looked at me. He grabbed his friend and he like yanked him over. He's like, "Bro, she's 43. My mom is 38. And she looks younger than my mom."
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was like, "You literally made my entire year, kid." He was like,
That's the greatest.
"No, are you
birthday gift
seriously
ever.
lying?" Like, I had to take out my ID.
To
He
show, yeah.
did not believe.
Yeah.
I was like, "You really think I'm 18? Come on." He's like, you just look so young." I was like,
oh.
"No." Even that night, we for my birthday, people were like, "You're what?"
Yeah.
Like 43. They're looking at me like, "Are you on something? How many drinks have you had?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess it's a good thing. I
No,
don't
it definitely is a good
need
thing. Well,
I'm sure if I do some injectables, it'll be like, "Dang, she's like
you
16.
Dude, you are illegal right now. You should not be here. It's like, what? How young is too young to look? You know?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice to age and have some.
I think, yeah, because it brings some distinction.
Yeah, some character. You
Yes.
don't want to be like.
Well,
I don't want to go look like everybody else.
No, I know. I think for the longest time, like even, with my friends that were getting gray hairs.
Oh, I'm all gray.
Oh man.
Did you know that? I'm like almost 100% gray.
Oh my god, your hair looks amazing.
Do you see the gray?
No, I don't. No,
actually, I grew it out during COVID.
Oh, that was the style. That was the
I
thing.
did it for a year, and
Silver fox. For
it
women.
was. I mean, even my hairdresser, she was like, "Do you know people pay thousands?"
Oh yeah, to get it done. Yeah.
I fry people's hair to have your hair, and I was like, I don't think I could do it anymore.
I need to go back.
I did. I went back to brown. I was like, maybe when I'm 50.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think I'm ready, even though like I look back on my pictures and I'm like, that just like I see wisdom.
Yeah.
Like
no,
I don't,
for sure.
I don't see like old, but people associate gray hair, silver hair with old.
Yeah. Oh,
like they see a guy like silvering up, they're like, "Oh, he must be in his 50s."
Yeah. So I think that was definitely a turning point for me because I had to decide whether I wanted to, did I want to stay looking young or was I going to let that one gray hair? I literally have one gray hair. I'm 45 years old. I have one gray hair. I thank whatever God is up there.
This must be your first lifetime here. You don't have a lot of stress.
You'll
keep getting grays as you keep ascending to different lifetimes.
That's so. A lot of people say that they're like
I'm ancient.
Everyone's like, yeah, I did hear that before. Like, the more gray hairs, it means that in your past lives you've gone through a lot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. Someone had made mention of it years ago to me. They're like, oh, that's that was a sign of aging. So I was joking with friends of mine who started graying out at like mid-20s. Yeah, in high school. Like
I had a girlfriend in high school dyeing her hair every like 8 to 10 days
because it was already graying out.
She was great. Yeah. I was like, girl, like, we're 18.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Is this another part of puberty that I don't know about?
Did I miss it?
Oh God!
They didn't give it to me.
No, and it was really interesting when someone had mentioned that because I mean it makes a lot of sense to do that. So I was questioning myself, and as far as my path in life, I was like either that or I don't know. I mean, my pigmentation is jet black, so it's just very. Yeah. My hair is jet black, and I have a lot of hair. Mm-hmm. And I think we always want what we don't have. So at one point, I had was at the barber, and I'm like, I really wish I could do a shaved head. And she was like, well, why can't you do it? I go, because I don't have the really nice receding hairline, because there is a symmetry to it, And I was like, when I do it, I look like I have a coconut for a head, I look like I have a coconut, and I don't want that. It's not a thing for me. So, having the gray going into this whole idea of gray, it's like, oh, I wish I had a little bit of
I
salt and
think
pepper
you
in
would
there.
wear it really well on the sides.
So, and that's just it. Then I have to wear glasses all the time, so I look like studious and just filled with wisdom.
That's usually where you guys start.
It's usually the sides. So I think, to be fair, I think it's on the left side that I have like one or two, and it is on the side.
That's where I started seeing it, and I just started plucking them out, and then it's just...
I know. I pulled it out. Like I do one of the things where I'll get out of the shower, I'll like brush my hair, and I'm like, oh,
there it is,
and I'll like rip it out. I'll just yank it out.
Yeah, there it is.
And then my mom will tell me, if you pull it out,
there's more that grows.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a myth.
I mean, let's just put it this way. I've been wearing a hat forever, and as a kid growing up, if you wear a hat too much, you're gonna go bald. Blah blah. I have way too much hair to be bald. I'm quite the opposite. It's almost like if I keep my hat on, it'll just keep growing. But yeah, no, it's getting older is definitely, especially after you hit the 30.
I think after 35 is when things shifted for me.
You start to really think about your life in the future. You think about your personality. You think about everything you've been through. Some of us have been through more than most. A lot of people could go through a lot of things within their first 20 years. There's positives and negatives to all that stuff. But it's interesting to see. I don't want to say middle-aged because, like, again,
I don't feel like I'm middle-aged.
Well, someone had told me,
my parents at my age, I thought they were like ancient when I was younger.
Well, yeah.
So I'm like, now to think that I'm 43, I feel like I'm 33.
Yes. So that's why every decade, they're like, oh, 40 is the new 20.
Yeah.
We just jump
I literally feel like my soul feels like I'm in my 20s. I don't want to party like I'm in my 20s, but it's like
your body just doesn't want to handle it anymore. It's like,
hell no.
We should try. Like, no. It's probably a terrible idea. I find myself doing a lot of things. I'm like, it'd be a great idea to go out tonight. And then I get comfortable or I get productive on something. And I'm like, you know what? I think it's a better choice to stay in tonight,
I almost didn't go out for my birthday.
Because you're like,
I literally got out the shower. I was wrapped up and I was just laying there. I was like, I could just lay here and just sleep and just bring in my birthday, just super chill. Or I finally have one night off and I can go out.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables there. There's a lot of variables.
Had Jennifer not messaged me, I was like, oh, I already told her.
Yeah.
I can't leave her hanging. I gotta get dressed. Let's go.
You're not going to be that person.
No. That would be, she would have still gone, but that would have been rude. Like,
well, yeah.
You're inviting.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
You invite, I'll be there, and then you don't show up.
You're like, it's not her birthday?
Yeah, that's true. But still, I get that.
It's fun when you go out, but then you get so tired. I never appreciated sleep as much as I do now.
Yes. Oh, especially with children.
Oh my God.
Like it's definitely,
you
grow
a solo parent.
You grow and and that's something we'll get into at another time because that's a loaded subject for sure.
Wow.
But prospectively, of course, myself, having two children, they're a little bit older, so I always make the joke about kids.
Are your kids teens?
No, they're not teens yet. One is just hit double digits.
Okay.
And the other one is 7, going on 8. So, but it's still, it's like you look forward to them getting older. Well, as a father, we look forward to them getting older because they become a little more independent or self-sufficient. I'm sorry. And there's other things you can do with them. Like more older adult things to do.
Yes.
But you're also, you're taking away the whole idea that when they're little, you can hold them. You can just sit with them. You can kind of more or less keep them quiet.
Yeah.
As opposed to two, mobile individuals that want to ransack the house and do stuff and fight each other. So, it's definitely
like my world.
It's definitely a give and take. I always tell other parents. I always make the joke. My kids are amazing, but I hate them all at the same time. It is a test of my will. It's a test of everything. It is.
And hate is a strong word, but sometimes I'm like, oh.
You have to breathe. You have to breathe. It's definitely one of those things where I'll say this. I make the joke, but I'm being completely honest with you. They're 99% terrible, but 1% amazing. And that 1% makes up for the 99% of the garbage that we have to deal with.
I know my middle son always says, he reads expressions. So he'll go, Mommy, are you happy? You're smiling. You're happy. And I'm like...
So you really Just you can be read pretty easily then.
No, he just knows when
He
I'm
just
not wearing a
knows.
smile, she's not happy.
Okay.
She's either thinking, doing something, or she's
Yeah.
upset.
She's concerned.
But when she's laughing or dancing
Yeah.
or whatever, he'll come out and be like, oh, "You're happy."
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, and we've hit the mark. We're gonna close this out on an episode of We're Just Human.
Yes,
And
we are just human.
I'm excited to talk again because it feels like we have so many things to talk about. And I know we've got some stuff lined up, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good.
Each week
we're gonna be sitting here having coffee and chit-chatting
about life.
About life. You can hear about our experiences and also other experiences that we've encountered. Life is about perspective, so it'll be fun to hear all the things that you may not have heard of or that you can actually relate to.
Absolutely.
So until next time, we're gonna just pound the rest of our coffee and move on with our day.
I'm already done.
Oh, I definitely am not, but mine's a lot bigger than yours. So all right,
bye.